Here's the rule for Marshalltown. If any of you are bored on a Friday night in Marshalltown in the summer, it's not my fault.
Please stand for a national anthem if you're able. Our first piece tonight is Overture Winds, Overture for Winds, written by Charles Carter. Charles Carter composed Overture for Winds in 1959 as a three-part overture. The work is Carter's most popular composition for wind band, has found its place in the standard repertoire for wind band. Of his works, it became the composer's most popular composition for band. About the work, Carter remarked, "I can't explain its success, people just like it. I've written more complex music that for some reason never took off, but Overture for Winds has been popular since the day I wrote it." And on a personal note, when I was teaching band, they had a long history, almost, I think it was 25, 26 years where they didn't get a Division One at contest. I pulled this piece out for that band. That was their first Division One in like 25, 30 years. So it is a piece that is generally well liked, and hopefully you will like our version of it. All right, our second piece for evening, I got a little more background on this. So it is The Trumpet Shall Sound from the Messiah. And a lot of people recognize the Messiah. It's you play it at Christmas time, especially the Hallelujah chorus. But a lot of people don't know what it really is. So what it is an oratorio, which is basically an opera without any acting. So they have a bunch of actors that sing various solos, as well as a chorus and that, and tells a story all through music and that, without the acting. It's a 3-act oratorio, with the first act being Christmas, the birth of Jesus and all that. The second act ends up being the Passion and Easter, and the Hallelujah chorus is actually the finale of that second act. So the Hallelujah is actually an Easter song, not a Christmas one. But everybody always plays it at Christmas for some reason. So so you could go tell your friends and say you're smarter than them. You know, the Hallelujah chorus is actually an Easter song. The third act is John the Apostle, and a lot of the spreading the word about the resurrection and that afterwards. So the trumpet shall sound is the words come from 1 Corinthians, and it's about the resurrection and resurrection for everybody, for that. It is normally a baritone vocal solo, but we're going to do a baritone instrumental solo by Dan Good. We'll do the melody, and then it's trumpet shall sound, so there's a trumpet fanfare solo throughout the whole thing, and we have Amanda Schuler that will be doing that solo. So hope you enjoy The Trumpet Shall Sound. So the long explanation on the last piece makes up for that I don't know anything about this next one. It's called KMB March by Edgar Tyson. I don't know anything about it. I don't even know what KMB stood for. I tried looking. It says it was $16.50 when they bought it, so I know that. But if you figure out more, then you can let me know. Otherwise, we'll just have to go by the way it sounds and decide if we like it or not. So we tend to do a lot of marches, and so since I was in charge this time, I said the poor low brass, the marches, they just got boom, boom, bum, boom, bum, and it gets boring. And so I went and found a piece that was featuring the low brass. It's the low brass's favorite song. Fifth graders join as trombones and tubas because they hear the song and say, I want to be a low brass player. So I'm sure you'll recognize this and hope you appreciate, because the low brass are going to play their hearts out for you. And it's Modest Mussorgsky's A Night on Bald Mountain. So I didn't have the best of luck finding information on marches this time. So we're doing another march called Charter Oak by Eric Osterling. And I even know less about this than the other one. I didn't even have a conductor score, so I'm going off the oval part. And I don't have a price tag or nothing. So it's Charter Oak by Eric Osterling, copyright 1955. So we'll see. I guess you'll be as surprised as we are when we figure out what it is. So for our next couple pieces, I'll kind of introduce them together because they kind of go together. They're talking about selling beer and that here, and so I had visions of the bar scene from the Blues Brothers. So I said, oh, we got to do something for the Blues Brothers, including Rawhide, so that you're not throwing your beers at us. But speaking of that, even though we don't have the beer and that for sale tonight for that, I encourage you to, if you want to give him a dollar or so to help support that. That was really good. For those who don't know me, I'm the principal at the Catholic school, and we've had been included in that for a couple of years, and have had a really good showing from the kids and families enjoying that. And so I know from our school we really appreciate that, and would like them to be able to continue doing that. So even if you didn't buy a beer tonight, feel free to kind of contribute to that cause. Just like in the movie, they didn't do Rawhide right away. They tried to do a blues song first and then Rawhide. So we're going to do Soul Man first, and we're not going to try to do it. We're going to do the whole thing, right? So even if you throw your beers at us, then we're still going to finish that song, and then we'll do Rawhide after that. So our final selection tonight, again, will be two pieces together, because there's a little bit of relationship between them, and they're kind of short. We chose them for the reason that they happen to be on the same page as the Rawhide and the Soul Band, so really special. You'll recognize both of them. They're both TV shows that some of you remember from when you were kids. Some of them you might have remembered when your kids were kids. And there might be one or two of you that this might have been more before you. But the first one will be the Flintstones theme, and then the final will be the Muppet Show theme. Thank you for coming out tonight. Thank you very much for coming out tonight.